bit. And this movie is brought to you today by my friend Annie, who we're big horror fans from bygone era, back in the day. So she had told me, hey, check out this movie. It's really good. I'm on the fence about it, but here's the premise, all right? So I pulled it up. Here's the information. I watched this one night earlier this week. I think Monday it was, after work. And, as with everything with Netflix, the movies, they never tell you that it's a foreign film. You just say, oh, this movie looks okay, because this is the premise. Obviously it's all in English, and it says, in a bustling downtown Madrid, a loud gunshot and two mysterious deaths trap a motley assortment of common urbanites in a decrepit central bar, while paranoia and suspicion forces the terrified regulars to turn on each other. So, isolation horror. The film actually is considered a horror/comedy, I believe. Yes, and thriller. They got all three there. This was made in Spain. The real title is El Bar, obviously, Spanish, and March 24th, 2017, and it's directed by Alex de la Iglesia, writers Jorge, I'm not even going to attempt to even pronounce that name, cast of characters, doesn't really matter, they're all Spanish actors and actresses that I have no idea, never seen them before in my life. So the main character is Blanca Suarez. That's all you really need to know. Okay. Check it out if you want to. It's on Netflix, and you really have to give your time and patience to it because, as I said, it's a foreign film, and you have to read the subtitles. So a lot of times for me, it's very hard to read subtitles and then pay attention to what the hell is going on, especially if there's any type of action. Like when I first saw, I know I'm getting on track here, but just case in point, when I went to theaters and saw Brotherhood of the Wolf, didn't know what it was. You just saw, not Daniel Day-Lewis, the other martial arts guy. He plays a Native American though, in that film. I forget his name. Mark Dacascos, that guy, yeah, and. So I saw him, martial arts and everything. I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. Get there, and it's on subtitles. So you're trying to read this and follow the story, it's a pain in the butt. Hurts your head too much, especially when you want to find out what the hell's going on. It was late at night. I'm watching this, I'm like, oh, God, I got to get through this. So, yeah. As I said, the doesn't tell you too much what's going on about it, just that two people were shot and they're trapped in a bar. So, and that's pretty much what happened. It's got some funny scenes in it, especially with the one crazy bum, the hobo that comes in there, and he's really funny and he's really great. And by the end of the movie, it's like just whacked out. Everybody goes insane, and then but the funny thing about this bum, man, he looks like, I'll show you a picture here or wherever. This guy here reminded me and looks identical to the Mad Monk in Horror Express. And I'll put the pictures side by side when I do the editing. And as you can see, they both look identical. That's the one thing I noticed, I was like, wow. So that was cool. But it was like really weird because it's like this guy comes into the bar and I'm like, after a while, I'm like, wait, there was a guy that came in and was coughing and hacking and puking his guts up and went into the bathroom. We haven't seen him. And this is after one of the patrons, I guess I'm saying that right, walked out of the bar and was shot. Next thing you know, you think it's a terrorist attack. This guy says, well, he's still alive. Let me go help him. He goes out to resuscitate the guy or see if he's still alive. Then he gets shot and assassinated. So now everybody's freaking out. They don't want to go out there. They don't want to, So now you're hooked. Now this is the part where you're hooked. Now it's been a while. Now they're all talking about what's going on. Let's put on the news. Let's see what's going on. Or is it a terrorist attack? Or, why is this happening? And then next thing you know, they're arguing with each other so much that somebody came, cleaned up all the blood, and took the bodies away. You're like, holy shit, what the hell's going on here? And then you're like, after a while, they're like, somehow somebody figures out that the guy in the bathroom, whatever happened to him, right? So then they go in there, and I know I'm probably spoiling it, but I mean, whatever. This is the movie, you know. And then they go in there, and let me tell you, the guy's all dead. He's all like he puked his guts up. Oh no, I think he's still alive, or something happens to where like he's like a zombie or something. I forget. My memory is fading, but I forget if he walked out of the bar, out of the bathroom, and then he fell over dead. Like he had over protuberant like white fish eyes. His eyes were white as the dead fish, and like they were sticking out halfway out of his head. He looks like a zombie, and then he falls over dead. And they're all screaming, and and like nobody's like, don't touch him. And then they found out that they found his cell phone. He's ex-military, and they show like he's got pictures on his phone of like Central Africa or somewhere where they're doing testing, and they're all in like hazmat suits. So apparently, like he's died of some crazy contagious disease. So now they're like, oh my God, this is what's going on. He's contagious, and they're not gonna let us leave. They're gonna kill us all, and because they don't know if we're they're trying to contain it. But nothing said. Then like the SWAT team truck comes up, unmarked of course. These guys come out in hazmat suits, put rubber tires in front of the place, and then set them ablaze. And now the people are like, what the hell's going on? They're trying to yell to the people, save us, save us. And then they get out of the truck and leave. And then next thing you know in the news, they're talking about some fire somewhere in the city. And they said, this is all fake. They're just trying to cover it up. And then they start turning on each other. And they're like, well, we didn't touch the body. So then like three of the patrons like make a bunch of the people go in the sewer underground under the bar. So they go under the bar, and then the people up top wind up getting burned out alive. They burn the building up. So basically they're trying to contain this thing. I mean, I guess that's what you're getting at. But by the end of the movie, I don't want to give away too much, I guess. But like I said, it's really hard to follow when you're trying to read all this in English, with the subtitles, and try to follow along with what's really happening, So by the end of the movie, you're left thinking like what the heck's going on here? Like was there a contagion that they're trying to contain? This guy had syringes, and then all of a sudden the patrons think that there's a cure with the syringe, but I think they're all insane by then, and they don't really know. I wouldn't be injecting myself unless I was sick, and then so basically they're fighting over who gets the the injection and who doesn't, because there's only like 3 or 4 of them left, and there's 4 or 5 people left, and they start killing each other off one at one, fighting over these syringes. And I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna spoil the ending because it's one of those open-ended endings that you're like left like, well, what's going on? What was that all about? And so that is the movie that I saw recently called The Bar, 2017, an hour and 42 minutes. So check it out if you want. It's on Netflix, and I'll give that movie. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. I mean, I kind of liked it, but then I kind of didn't like it. I don't know. I like isolation horror films, but this one was just. There's too many unanswered questions. Like I wanted to, nothing was answered. Basically, nothing was really answered, and it's left up to you to interpret. Like, where'd this guy come from? What, like they followed him. Like, why didn't they just off him before he came into the bar? If that were the case, they were trying to contain something. But it was very strange, very very weird film. Different. Maybe because it's so different, that's why I'm not digging it. Maybe I have to watch it again. I don't know. I'm not really... See, this is the thing about me and new horror films, and things like that. It's hard for me. As you can see, my collection right here. I just go here and I pick off the shelf, man, and I just keep watching my old classics, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Just Before Dawn, things like that. And that's why I'll just pull something off the shelf here and do a movie review. So if you like these type of reviews for new stuff, let me know. Or I could just always pull something off the shelf like I always do randomly, and I'll do an old movie, either it's from the 80s or whatever, but whatever. I mean, it's what we do here. Captain Bailey's Adventures, we just do what I want, right? It's my channel, right? So if I want to do a 1985, B movie that I got up here on the shelf, then we'll do it and see how many people watch. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Like, subscribe. Let's keep the channel rolling. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I know I'm getting drips and drabs of subscribers. from all walks of life, and from the different communities. I got the horror community who like watching this type of stuff. I got the brew tubers who watch me, doing the homemade beers and things like that, and taste testings. And then you got the pipe community that I'm part of, where and I wish I could smoke my pipe today, but it's super nasty out. It's so wet and high winds that I can't even enjoy a pipe on the porch. I can't smoke inside, so it is what it is. So until we do it again, my friends, I know I'm getting kind of long-winded here, but that's the way it is. I just get on a tangent and just keep going. So let me just stop it now. Hugo, you gotta tell me when to stop instead of just looking at everybody through into their souls. He's staring at you guys, so he's gonna read your soul. All right, till we do it again, my friends. Remember, let's set sail.